And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the
classic. Time.
Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Alex back again. Here with my contest entry for Brandon over at Mr. Hall of Fame. You hit 6,000 subscribers, so this is basically my entry to that video, to his video, because he's been a channel I've been subscribed to for quite some time now, and yeah, a channel I watch every single video of, even if he shows nothing that I know. He's always an interesting guy, and he's very knowledgeable, has a very broad taste in music. And also, that's why I'm also playing Christopher Cross in the background, if you can hear it, because Brandon has a very significant history with this album. If you're subscribed to his channel, you know. If you don't know, you're missing out, basically. So that's what's playing. There we are. I'll leave it there so you can see it. Alright everybody, messed up a little bit on that video. Basically what happened was, I was so excited about getting the questions answered, I forgot to talk about the prizes that I wanted to win if I was to win the contest. Brandon, I apologize for that. I'm putting this in the middle somewhere because I'm obviously filmed it already and it's the next day and what have you. I would love to win those coasters with the album covers on. I think that's I like little quirky stuff like that, so that'd be a nice little thing to win. In addition to that, I would love the ZZ Top box set as well, maybe. I'm trying to get into ZZ Top a bit more, but maybe no, I would like the Supertramp album as well. I mean, I know I have a copy, but I would love an audiophile copy because it is my favorite Supertramp album, and it is one that I would love to have an audiophile copy of. So yeah, Coasters first, and then the Supertramp album. And I'll put ZZ Top third, because there's a possible fourth prize that Brandon hasn't announced yet. But yeah, those are the first two I want to win. The Coasters would be first, and then the Supertramp, and then the ZZ Top box set if I had to win it. But number one would definitely be the Coasters for sure. So yeah, anyways, let's get back to the video. So basically, Brandon's got 5 questions and a bonus question. I'm going to try and answer them as good as I can. So let's get into this. A song with scary lyrics or lyrics that creep you out. Well, I can actually give you a whole song, and maybe even a whole album. The song is Nightmare by Avenged Sevenfold. That song is so creepy. If you look at the lyrics, they're just so dark and so damn scary, but yet at the same time, this whole album's like that. But I went with Nightmare because it's maybe the song I heard by them, and I was so creeped out when I first heard that song that I fell in love with the album straight away. So yeah, Avenged Sevenfold, Nightmare is my answer for that question. Question 2, I have the questions written down here, just in case you're wondering. A part of collecting that stresses you out. I guess just trying to, Brandon obviously said money. I wish I had more money. That's not included in this. But I was going to be a bit more creative than that anyway, because we all know I can get whatever records I want working in a record store. So what stresses me out is the amount of vinyl I get. Because I take in so much vinyl in the week, I'm the kind of person who likes to play his newer records first. So there's a lot of stuff in my collection that I've listened to once and never listened to it again after that. So the only thing that really stresses me is that I wish I had a little bit more time to listen to everything in my collection, but I don't know if we're going to count that, but hey, there it is. Yeah. 3 songs or albums that were played in a significant moment in your life. That's question 3. I'm only 22, so I've had to really think about this because obviously I haven't lived as long as everyone else in the VC. They've had a few more moments than me to have significant moments with some songs, but for me, I've chosen 3, managed to choose 3 that I've gone with. So I'm going to start off with the song Ain't Nobody by Shaka Khan and Rufus and Shaka Khan. The song Ain't Nobody I played in my very first ever DJ set. I did a 5-hour set in a nightclub. That was my first night DJing, and I played Ain't Nobody in the main portion of my set, because there's basically split into 2 parts where there's a main set and a set of like cheesy sing-along songs, and I threw Ain't Nobody as a transition into the 2, and everyone just went bonkers for it, and I put a huge smile on my face, and I fell in love with DJing at that moment, and I knew I didn't want to do anything else other than DJ at that moment. So Ain't Nobody by Rufus and Shaka Khan is my first choice. I've also gone with the song Lose Yourself by this guy, Eminem. I know, Brandon, I know you're not the biggest fan of rap or hip-hop, but this guy here, the song, his music in general helped me for a very tough period in my life, the teenage years, which of course we all have those, and I think we all go through struggles in our teenage years at some point. But the song Lose Yourself, the day I heard that song, I knew I needed to fight through and just struggle, fight through my struggles and carry on, because I was going through such a tough time before I heard that song, and the moment I heard Lose Yourself, my whole world ended. I got into this whole thing of hip-hop, falling back in love with music, because I basically stopped there was a phase when I stopped liking music, and Lose Yourself changed all that. So basically I'm still that much into music because of this guy right here, Eminem. So the song Lose Yourself is my second choice, and the third choice, which is technically 2 moments for this next one, but the other one was last week, so I don't know if I can really count that up, but I'll talk about it anyway. It's Superstition by Stevie Wonder. When I first heard the song Superstition, I was with my uncle, who's unfortunately no longer with us, but he loved Otis Redding, Stevie Wonder, the Beatles, Nat King Cole. Yeah, and Stevie Wonder's one of those artists that always stuck with me, and the first song he ever played me by Stevie Wonder was Superstition, and that song always stuck with me. So ever since then, I've basically loved Stevie Wonder. But as I was talking about, there's another moment that happened last week when I saw Stevie Wonder live last week, and he performed Superstition as the final song of his set. And he announced during the song that he had an illness, and I teared up. He announced that he had to have a kidney transplant, and I just teared up big time. I don't think I've ever cried at a concert. I have never cried at a concert. but Stevie Wonder. As soon as he announced he had to have a kidney transplant, I just couldn't hold it together. So that's a significant moment as well, but I'm going with the moment my uncle played me this song, just because I would class him as my favourite uncle. But yeah, I remember coming home from school that day. Well, not home, but to his place after school, because I would stay there quite a bit as both my parents worked. So I would go to his place after school. There was always music playing. And he said, "Hey, do you know about this guy Stevie Wonder?" I'm like, "No," and he played Superstition, and ever since that moment I loved the song Superstition, so there you go. Superstition is my third and final choice for the answer to that question. Let's move on to 1 to 5 songs about places you've actually been. That's question 4. This one I kind of struggled with a little bit, because I wanted to include Orlando, but there's not really any songs about Orlando. So I picked 3 after doing a bit of research. The one that immediately came to my mind, obviously, is London Calling by The Clash. I mean, I've been to London a few times, so I had to include a song about London. And yeah, The Clash, London Calling. That's my pick for that one. I picked a song about Memphis because I have been there. Now, I had to Google songs about Memphis because the only one I could think of was Louis Armstrong Memphis Blues, but I didn't have that on any format. So I had to Google songs about Memphis, and it listed the song Honky Tonk Woman by the Rolling Stones. So that's my pick for Memphis, Honky Tonk Woman. If it's not actually about Memphis, blame the internet, not me. So there's that one. And the last one I picked is A Night in Paris, or The Last Night in Paris by 10cc. Because I have been to Paris twice? I forget how many times I've been to Paris. I've not been for a while, but Paris isn't as good as everyone thinks. Paris ain't as good as the movies. There you go, 10cc, The Last Night in Paris. All 3 parts. But that's my answer for question 4. Songs about places I've actually been. I've also been Brussels, Berlin. There's probably songs about Berlin, I just didn't Google that one. But I don't think I actually had any. I think I did, but I didn't have anything in my collection about Berlin. Weird. Anyway, well, forget about that, and we'll move on to question 5, which is find 2 people that you've never spoken to about music before and ask them to name 2 to 3 bands or artists that they like. Now, last week, Stevie Wonder was the perfect opportunity because I was surrounded by 65,000 people, and I was traveling back and forth on the tube a lot that weekend. So that gave me the opportunity to ask people. Now, the 2 people I found had music t-shirts on, so I thought it was appropriate. The first guy I asked had a Beatles t-shirt. I said, name 2 bands or artists, name 2 to 3 bands or artists that you like, other than the Beatles, because he was wearing a Beatles t-shirt. And he said, other than the Beatles. And he name dropped Badfinger, and he name dropped, I'm struggling to remember now because I didn't write it down. He name dropped the Rolling Stones, I think. Yeah, he did. He name dropped Badfinger and the Rolling Stones. So there's that. The other guy I asked had a Smashing Pumpkins t-shirt on. So I asked him because that's obviously very different from the Beatles. But then he named, and I'd said, name 2 or 3 bands or artists that you like other than the Smashing Pumpkins. And he name dropped the Beatles. So that was quite funny. That he liked Smashing Pumpkins and the Beatles. But he also name dropped Pearl Jam and Nirvana. So you kind of see his taste a little bit. there, which was nice to have that. So hey, there you go, I've done it. Time for the bonus question. The bonus question is actually a room tour. My room's a little messy, but I'm gonna do it because I know Brandon likes doing room tours. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and we'll get into this. Alright, so this is the view you see when you walk into my room. The door is right here, so this is basically a 360. You can see that it's a bit of a mess because a lot of this stuff here is over here. I just move it when I want to listen to music. So yeah, it's a bit messy, but if you can excuse the mess, please beware. So I'll start here over this side. This is the laptop I use. Sorry, I'm getting adverts on the internet now, which I don't like. But yeah, this is the laptop I use to edit all my videos on. It's a slow piece of crap, but it's good enough at least to edit videos on with Movie Maker. You can see all my change, receipts, business cards, pens, metal chains, SD cards, memory sticks. Yeah, but this is what I use to watch my YouTube videos on and edit my videos on. That's it, and it's a decent laptop at least. It gets the job done. This is what I'm playing right now. And just as a quick reminder, I'll put it down there. Yeah, my TV over here. 22 inches. Not very big, but very dusty. Jeez. Need to give that a clean. I'll do that when I'm finished. My Hunger Games books, some Blu-rays, loads of comics that I'm picked up recently that I'm yet to read. Don't judge me on that book. That's not mine. I'm borrowing it from a friend. Face cream. Don't know why that's on top of more comics that I haven't read. Look at that. That's a huge stack of comics that I haven't even read yet. I know, crazy. All of these here, these are Harry Potter books, DVDs that I'm yet to watch, straws that I pinched from Wendy's when I was out in Orlando, because we have a Wendy's here in the UK, but it's all the way in London, so I'm not going to go all the way to London just to get straws from Wendy's. And they've actually stopped serving plastic straws in most of our fast food places, so yeah. And yeah, my bed right here. Bit messy. This is my clean laundry that I'm yet to put away. Yeah, my recent deodorant, which has actually been opened because I had to get the new deodorant out of here recently to spray that. More comics that I haven't read, as well as the only manga I own, Death Note, and a flyer for this gig that I actually helped from Max DeMarco. He was over recently, and I helped promote that concert, so I kept one of the flyers and my headphones, more clean laundry, the bag I use for work, that thing, canvas that I'm yet to put up. That Finding Nemo puzzle, that was a jokey present from my mum. Yet to solve that puzzle, but hey, my CDs are here, more DVDs and Blu-rays up there, hats, more CDs, tapes, all there. This is the sound system. Just a basic Technic sound system, hi-fi. So the EQ there, the double deck tape player, the CD player, the amp, my record player with the Christopher Cross album on it. This stuff here, these are all, some of these are empty covers like the DJ Shadow. Don't get excited, Tim. It's Primitive Strike on vinyl, but it's not because it's just the cover. Don't get excited. Or things that I've upgraded recently that I'm still yet to get rid of. So, empty covers and stuff that's been upgraded. More tapes. The fan that I use to cool me down, because it does get this room's very weird because it gets very warm during the summer and it gets very cold during the winter. So I have this fan, and I also have this heater down here. As you can see, these records are ones I'm sorting through, and stuff I pull for videos that I'm doing 12-inch singles down there, some stuff I've got in recently that I haven't listened to yet. I didn't show you down here, that's one box of singles down there. They're not organized, more DVDs and Blu-rays I'm yet to watch, etc, etc. Stuff. Yeah. Cupboard drawers which have more Clives in, but I don't really, which is just to balance my sound system on. Yeah. This is where this is what you guys really care about, though. I know, the record collection, which is recently been reorganized. It took me about half an hour or so to reorganize the whole collection, but I knew pretty much how I was organizing it anyway. But before we get to that, up here, my Arctic Monkeys poster from the concert I went, well, not the concert I went to, because I went to the London concert, but they sold out of posters because they did 250. See that there? Per gig. So I had to get one from the Birmingham gig, which my boss went to. So it's not the gig I went to, but it is a concert. My Stevie Wonder poster, I guess, or picture board, which was actually recovered from a cocktail bar from the 80s. And somehow my boss got hold of it and gave it to me as a gift. But yeah, here's the collection anyways. The main part of the collection. Up top, all the genres I listen to the most, which I've just, for now, I've taken these little bits of cardboard from old empty record boxes, the mail packages, ripped them up and made dividers out of, just as a little easy way to divide up all the genres. And then down underneath is A to Z, all the genres that basically rock, pop, metal, and yeah, and basically anything that's not in any of the genres up here. So here to there, you can probably see, is all hip-hop, all modern hip-hop, things like EPMD, through to XXXTentacion, if you've ever heard of him, I doubt it. All the way through to like things like UTFO, Travis Scott, Kendrick Lamar, you know, Redman, mixture of modern and new hip hop in there. But yeah, all nice stuff. And we get to here, and this is all my 2000s to 2000, I guess 19 R&B. So things like Beyonce will be in there, Black Eyed Peas, Anderson .Paak I put in there, and even Diplo, Alicia Keys, Frank Ocean, Blood Orange, one of my boys right there. I love Blood Orange. His music is, he's a very talented guy. And then here, all of this, and here is all my soul, funk, disco, and R&B. 80s R&B. I know, it's my biggest section, but it is my favorite section, basically. I don't like to have favorites. I mean, hip-hop is maybe the genre I grew up listening to and my first love musically, but I do love my soul music. That's why it is my biggest section. And behind that, starting there, jazz, modern and new, Gregory Porter to Frank Sinatra to Wayne Shorter to Grover. So yeah, all that there. Behind is all my reggae, another pretty small section, but still a decent sized section there. And then behind that is all my Afrobeat, which is my smallest section, because I can't get enough Afrobeat stuff to have a bigger section. So they're all the genres I listen to pretty much on a daily basis. I know pretty much every album up here off the top of my, well, from back to front, without even listening to it on vinyl, because I have them all on other formats. But yeah, I love every single album on top here from front to back. That's why they're the genres I listen to the most. As I said down at the bottom, I'm not going to go through everything, but that's all A to Z titles down there. Very, very accurately alphabetized. So that's very strange for me. So that's the main part of the collection there. More books, more clothes, all my tote bags, posters I'm still yet to put up. My left-handed golf clubs, which I still ain't used. I know, it's crazy. I have left-handed golf clubs that I've never used. Sorry, that's a blur bag. But yeah, there we go. That's another poster I need to put up. Empty guitar case. And this box down here. This is another box of singles. You can see some shoes, another bag. That's the bag I used while I was walking around London, because I don't like carrying stuff in my pockets when I'm walking around London. This has all my hip-hop 12s in here. Very nice. Book on Red Hot Chili Peppers. Some empty boxes. This comic I actually have twice. So there we go. This is my wardrobe where all my clothes live. Well, all my band t-shirts and smart dress wear. My 2 guitars, my first ever one. This one I was working on but gave up on eventually because it was hard work. Because it had no strings or anything, and it still has no strings, and that's an indication I gave up on working on that. So there you go. That's where my comics live, the ones that I have read. There's more books in there. More Blu-rays at the back, if you can see that. But down here, more records. That is my soundtrack my soundtrack collection, which I'm going to be working on very shortly. At some point I want to add more. I will be adding more soundtracks to my collection over the next couple of months, with a bit of luck. So I'll do a whole video on that at some point once that collection is as I want it to be, as my rubbish bag that needs emptying. And yeah, that's basically a full 360 of the room. And I'll end you with the music that stopped about 5 minutes ago. But hey, what can you do when you listen to vinyl and it's so short? But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Congrats again, Brandon, for reaching 6,000 subscribers. Completely earned every single one. And yeah, make sure if you're not subscribed to Brandon that you go and sub to his channel. I'll leave a link down below. And yeah, so hopefully I'll see you guys again very soon. Peace.